I really do have something juicy today. Okay. So I'm going to share with you how to leverage government support to grow your business locally and internationally. So if you're new to my live show, welcome. And for those who are not new, welcome back. And just as FYI, I actually have a TV show here in Illinois. This is more of a social media engagement. And greetings to everyone joining me from different parts of the world. I have several platforms going at the same time. I have LinkedIn Audio, Clubhouse, YouTube, LinkedIn Video, Twitter, Facebook. What else? You did I say YouTube? So greetings, platform people. Do you know what I found? Everybody loves their platform. Everybody loves their platform. There are LinkedIn people, there are YouTube people, there are Facebook people, there are Twitter people, there are Clubhouse people. And we don't like moving. So I come to you, you don't have to, right? Hey, Tina Tender, good to see you. Thanks for the love. Yes, that's what I found, guys. We love our spaces. We love to feel comfortable. Instagram people are Instagram people. So I roam the streets. I visit. I visit everywhere. So I know. Okay, why am I laughing? It's already very funny. So I visited all the social, including Threads. I have a space on Threads, and I've engaged, and I realized, listen, people love what they love. So that's okay. Stay where you love. I'm broadcasting live to you from Chicago. But I also do have a TV show that runs here where I host live engagement. That's in person, but this is just Instagram, social media. But this is fantastic because we have a global audience. My TV show, only those who are here locally can really enjoy the benefits. So I come from time to time here. So let's get right to it. I see people joining. Let me know where you're joining from. You can type. And Jasmine on Clubhouse, feel free to come up to the stage. Yes, she's already introduced herself. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. So, just to give you a background, okay? I do a whole lot of work that is at the intersection of business and government. Okay? I do a lot of events, summits. I also sit on the Illinois District Expert Council by the appointment of the U.S. Secretary of Commerce. We serve, right, fellow business stakeholders here in the state of Illinois. We provide education, support, insights on that council. And we do have different stakeholders, Department of Commerce, on and on. I also host my summits where we bring together investor community, business community, and government stakeholders. Okay? Because it's all about advancing economic development. Okay? And this is how it works. So I'm going to break down a few things here, and please do share with others. This is one of those sessions that everybody needs to see. It's a game changer. So this is how it works. Excuse me, the government, our government, and in particular, I'm here in the US, so I'm going to focus more on the US government, right? They serve the business community. Okay? There are resources, support released to serve the growth and expansion. The government wants businesses to thrive. Okay? Government wants you to thrive if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, right? And I'm going to break down some distinctions right now. The government wants you to thrive. They want you to make money because when you make money, you're going to hire people, you're going to grow the economy. Your employees, right, will spend money, right? When we talk about economic development, economic activities, GDP is calculated by the expansion of the economy, and businesses, right? We are engine of growth. And government knows that. And there are many resources and supports housed in the government, states, right, local, states, federal, that are put in place to support the growth and expansion of US businesses. But there's a gap. And this is why, when it comes to my platforms, my event, my services, is that information Okay, flow, information flowing back and forth between government and business, business to government. You want to look at that. What I have observed is that platforms where those information flows, if you are not there, you're not there. Okay. And also, depending on your growth trajectory as a business owner or an entrepreneur, depending on whether you're just starting out, you are an established business, or you're a large business, the engagements you're going to have with the government is going to look differently. And the resources and the support that it can offer you will also be different. So let me stop there. Does anybody have any questions, reactions? Kenny, I also see Mr. Kenny here. This is the room you want to share. This is the engagement you want to replay. I'm going to load a lot of good stuff in here. Okay, good. I'm looking at the comments here. I see Caleb. I see Peter. Thank you so much. Feel free on LinkedIn. You have to raise your hand if you want to join and ask a question. And then on the other platforms, you can type. Okay. So the first thing is the government wants businesses to grow. The government wants businesses to thrive, and they have resources to help businesses grow. I want to make sure people understand that. Okay. So whether you're a startup founder, you have an idea, you have a business idea, and you want to launch your idea, or you're a business owner, and there's a distinction, guys. Not every business owner is an entrepreneur, right? You can literally buy businesses right now. You can buy a laundromat, you can buy franchise. You don't have to be the one to start and put in processes and structures in the business. You can buy a business that already has structures, that already have customers, that already have clients, that already have a brand, that already have income, cash flow. You can buy, right? Because many times those who are starting businesses from scratch, they don't understand that the most valuable part of your business is not just the product or service, it's the systems, processes, and structure you're going to put around an idea. That's what we sell. That's what sells. The ability for somebody else to come into a business, buy the structures, buy the processes, buy the database, buy the assets of a company, and be able to run that company and still make money. That's where value is. This is why when I teach in my school, the Entrepreneurs Academy, I tell you, don't just be selling your hours, be building structures, be building processes, right? That is, be building assets, be building equity, be building ownership. This is where wealth creation mindset comes into entrepreneurship. Because that's how you can grow and move into that small business. And even if you want, you can sell it. But if you are selling your time, you have nothing else to sell. This is why I say take my classes, go to my school, because the vision, the growth trajectory is dependent on the vision you cast and how you build it and the structure, right? Because once a business is established, okay, meaning the processes, sales processes, right, all of the procurement processes, supply, right, all of the engine of a business are in place, and the business is generating funds and is fully operational, there's another growth trajectory that the government also helps to activate, right? Expansion. You don't have to stop. You can get, as long as you can reach more customers, you can reach more clients, you can distribute more products if it's a widget, on and on and on. Okay. So I see Caleb here. Did you want to respond before I go on, or did you have a question, Caleb?
Thank you very much. Thank you to you again. Thank you for the opportunity to be on the platform. No, not yet. One slightly sarcastic question wanted to come to my mind when you said, so I wanted to ask, the true of all governments, like including Nigeria, is it all governments that want your business to grow, or the as well?
Oh, yeah. You had to drop that sarcasm. Here's the key. I'm US centric. What I'm talking about today is US focused. But as you know, I also host international trade summits, and I also work at the continental level with different government stakeholders as well. But what I'm sharing right now, in particular, the work I'm doing is US focused. I'm talking right now US based businesses. But if you're joining international, here's the key: you want to know the same thing applies. But here's what happens, Caleb. I'm going to address your sarcasm. You're not in the room. All there are resources even though I'm trying to hesitate not to respond. I know that there are a lot of incentives, because just because you are not participating in those incentives does not mean it doesn't happen, right? Because part of the challenge people face is that the moment you layer your mind with negativity about any government, yours or other people's government, it's very, very tough for you to participate positively in something you are negative towards. That is this is why I teach mindset and personal development psychology stuff. Is that the moment you see, in any relationship, the moment you attach a negative thought towards a person, a people, a place, the positive things happening that those people can do for you, you can't participate, you exclude yourself from it. And I've seen so many people be negative about government. And I'm saying that's okay. You pick that. The narrative online, you're picking that. But I'm telling you, government is good to certain people. Always. So I know you came that way, but because you're irregular, I just wanted to check that. Just within us, we always have to check ourselves, because in the advanced energetic space, right? When I talk about sales and all of those things, you really want to replace all negative constructs. You want to replace it with positivity, because that's how you attract positivity in life. Okay, so I'm not here to fix anybody's thoughts about government. I will share what's available. But if you think it's negative, it's you. You did that to yourself and you excluded yourself. So that's just something to watch out for. These are things that, when I talk about social media, get off social media, everything you're reading, right? They are forming mental construct, they are forming images. And in a way, if you're not careful to detoxify yourself, you actually miss out on the positive side of all of these things. I'm not here to defend anybody. I'm not here to defend anybody. But one of the things I coach my students on, my business professionals, is that when you are in the field of the game, like let's say a soccer game, a soccer game, if you're on the field and you want to win, okay, you want to practice, you want to discipline, you want to stay focused on your goals, you want to apply strategies so that you can win the game. Most people in the world are sitting in the spectator seats and throwing, oh, the referee is this is that, right? But they're in the spectator seats. So anytime I'm speaking to someone, I can only help people that have a jersey number, that own a business and they're trying to grow a business, and they're focused on winning and achieving success, because the energy we bring has to be positive. Okay. But I also understand many people are commentators. We are reading the news, we are saying this and that stuff. I don't deal with that stuff. So I just say, watch out for that. And I just went off there. I'm going to bring myself back home. So yes, I'm US centric, but I'm always aware that even here in the US too, many people have negative connotation about government. But that's their problem, right? Because once you attach negativity to anything, all the positive things that those relationships could be doing for you, you did that to yourself, all in your mind. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. I choose to believe in the government of Nigeria. Okay, thank you.
Listen, what you believe is what you get in life. What you believe is what you get. I'm a faith person. I'm a faith-based coach, and I practice my faith a whole lot. A whole lot. Is that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So pardon me, let me move on from that. If you want personal session, because when I host one-on-ones, many of the things stopping people from progress and achievements is all thoughts. thoughts, ideas, beliefs. Because this just touched my heart. Because I feel for, like, the work we have to do on ourselves so that we can see the world through positive lens, so that we can see one another and trust. Trust is the equation of business. The day you allow yourself not to trust people, you can't make money. Because once you don't trust people, people don't trust you too. People don't, this is energetics. You attract who you are. What you embody is what you get, and is what you see, and is what you're going to get. So one of the things I do for my clients and my students that I coach, when you come into my space, this is not my space, this is social media. Like, social media is social media. You get what you get. But when you come into my school, you come into my program, we will deal with specific things. We'll have to confront all of these things, because when you come into my summit or event, if how you come will determine who wants to engage with you, right? Who wants to shake your hands, who wants to do business with you. And just so you know, government is also people. When we say government, these are people, humans, that you can build relationship, positive relationship with. So when people go into this umbrella of, oh, this government is this, you miss out. This is the narrative one-liners that news media wants you to walk away with. The programming of the news, the general common stuff. Tell me something else. You totally just got me there, because when I'm one-on-one in my spaces, 100% positivity, because that's how you attract positivity as well. Okay, let me leave that alone. Caleb, thanks for the love. Listen, you touch my heart, because this thing is real. I teach energetics, I teach mindset a lot, I teach strategies, I even teach people the power of networking. I have classes on foreign aid, foreign trade. I have all these things to educate people, to say, if you want the best in life, if you want more success, it starts with you. The world is the world. You can't change anything happening out there. The only thing we can change is us. And once you change you, everything you want will magnetize, you attract who you are. So the check is really, right now, what are you attracting? Based on your thinking, your aura, your energy, right? On and on and on. Your skills, your brand. Because at the end of the day, humans are the people we are working with. Humans. So your people relationship has to be positive. Okay, let me bring my heart back. You see why I don't talk about these things publicly, right? They're very sensitive, but I'm going to stay on the high positive note. Let's go there. Let me take you to the positive side. So if you're a startup, okay, if you're a startup, there are many resources that is about helping you, right, with your business plan. Okay, because many people have ideas, but they don't know what to do with their ideas. So there's small business, but even within small business, there's people who just started, right? And one thing I have found is that in the new launch startup space, there's a lot of chaos in that space. And only those who settle, who acquire skills, develop processes, develop systems, they are the ones that make it out of that phase into the established business phase. So I find people spinning around, 5 years, spinning around, 6 years, spinning around. Many people stop, because when you look at the statistics, in fact, there's a report that the SBA just sent to me that I downloaded. They did the commission. It's a new report. They commissioned it. We'll talk about it in my TV show, because The leaders, they are coming in to educate my community here in Aurora, Illinois, right? So I'm looking forward to that. Okay. But there are reports right now that if you do your research, you can actually gain insights from as well. Because my hope for those who are starting businesses is that they learn quickly so that they can grow faster. Because when we don't learn, we don't put the processes in place, you cannot grow, right? Until you learn, right? So structures, processes. Okay. The other thing is that once you are established, one of the secrets of accelerating growth for established businesses is going national and international. Okay. And government has resources to help you grow. When I say grow, okay, build, grow, scale. There are resources where once you've established, because in the large enterprise space, large enterprises grew large because they went national and international, and that's why they all have internal teams. They have a small team, maybe small or large, they have teams of international division. I'm telling you the secret of success of the biggest companies in the world. The way you go from small to large is to go national or international or both. Why is that important? Because once you establish your business, what you ought to be doing is looking for more clients and customers. And there are more customers outside of the US, as example, than within the US. So let's say you're in a city, you're in a state, you've established, you have reach, you're able to sell within your state. When you want to sell more, it's about sales. When you want to grow your sales, okay, one of the engines of growth, really the primary one, is to make more money, sell more to more people, market more to more people. So part of growing is going beyond your state, going national, you will grow volume, and then going international is another level of growth, strategic growth. So when I say learn fast, for those who have followed me, when I say learn fast, is because I can already see there's a path of growth for every startup. But until you learn fast, you're still spinning around. You're figuring it out. Oh, I don't know marketing. I don't know sales. Oh, branding. Do I need branding? This you're still people 1 year, 2 years, they're still spinning around. And I'm saying to learn, right? When people say fail fast, failing is teaching something, is telling you what's not working. But many times people are not, what we ought to be looking for is what, right, what has worked for other people. It's a mindset shift. This is a slight mindset shift. If you want to really move fast and achieve accelerated success in all areas, right? Instead of saying, I will figure it out myself, instead of saying, in order to fix my teeth, I will become a dentist. Figure out who is already a dentist, who has invested 6 years perfecting that skill, and then saying, what can you learn quickly from them? Because once you learn skill, you can implement. And so the government as well, they know this. That's why at the early stage, they're trying to help you solidify your idea, right, around the business plan. That's why they are big on business plan, right? There are centers you can go through to. The day you say, this is my idea, they will ask you, where's your business plan? Because the business plan is an attempt, it will force you to think about different aspects of your business that maybe you've not thought about before. The business plan also has a lot of financial projections. So if you want to take a loan and all of those things, right? Is that many times you carry ideas, but in order to implement ideas, the first stage is to articulate those ideas in such a way that other people can understand, read it and understand. And once you've established your business, listen, not everybody moves into the large space, because to go from small to large requires another activation, right? It requires another expertise. because of structures and automation. You may have to establish agent network nationally or internationally. And many people may, if they don't think about that, if they're just saying, oh, my business is successful in my city, I'm making enough money, this is fantastic, they stop there. But the day they start saying, you know what, can we go to Wisconsin? Can we go to Atlanta? Oh, you now realize you need partnerships, or you need an agent network. You need a distribution chain, right? How do you distribute your products? How do you distribute your services? Do you open, services, or do you franchise? So there's another conversation there. And the government also has support at that junction as well. So let me stop reactions. I know I'm going maybe a little fast. You can type your questions or come up to the stage. And please, again, we invite other people and Team Replay, when this session is available for the replay, please share it broadly as well. And let me know if there are other questions you have. I can always host more sessions, because one of the things I'm doing is that on my TV show in the city, many of the government experts, they're coming in. If you look at my profile on LinkedIn, I already put together the schedule right now. Over the next couple of weeks, every week they're coming into my show. I'm interviewing them, and they'll be going deeper into specific things, right? They'll be telling us the grants, the programs, they'll be giving us websites we can go to. Right? This is something I'm doing for my community. Okay, so my community physically here, Aurora, Illinois, and then my community in my school. Those are the two places where those things will go. Okay, in my community, the TV show will run, it will keep running here in Aurora because it's in partnership with the mayor's communications team here. So we're going to educate ourselves. We're activating our businesses here in Aurora. And then every episode will be uploaded into my school, the Entrepreneurs Academy, to support my students as well. Okay, because people have been asking me, where can they get this? This is something I'm using my time, energy, resources to serve my community physically, and to also serve my community virtually, online community. Because I said social media is just, we're being social here. I always tell people, most of these things that you need, right, you have to go deeper. Go to your chamber of commerce, right? Go deeper, go deeper. Everything at the surface of social media is common. The real meat, if you really want to grow faster, you have to go deeper. Insight. This is why we talk about insights, market research, because these are the things as well that you have to present to the government, right? You bring your idea. Where's your business plan? Also, in the international space, you have to put together your expansion plan. You have to put together your expansion plan, right? So let me stop. Caleb, any reaction, your thoughts? Feel free to share. You pulled my string the other time, but okay, be careful. Go ahead, Caleb.
Yes, thank you.
No questions. Okay, you're giving Miss Lisa. I have Clubhouse running here. Miss Lisa says you're giving excellent advice. Thank you. I will take all the all the accolades. I'll take it home. Okay, what else? I'm seeing what's being typed here. Awesome. Okay, and then for those on LinkedIn, Tinotenda and Linda, raise your hands if you want to join the conversation as well. I'd love to hear what's running through you if you have any questions. And thank you, everyone, joining. I see more. I'll send invitations if you want to come up to the stage. Kenny, Jasmine, anybody that wants to come up to the stage to ask a question or not, that's okay. So basically, first thing is creating awareness. What stage of growth are you on? What stage of growth? Start early startup, and because you have to have awareness, because the government support is mapped to growth stage. Meaning, if you're a small business, how you come to the table. Okay. So, for example, a small business that wants to go national or international, part of what they might have to do is to start establishing maybe a team. Because to start with, you may rely on experts like myself as your external support team. Because part of what's happening is that most small businesses that haven't done this work, they are listen, businesses are so busy, right, that they don't have staff assigned to be helping them be more strategic in terms of activating growth. They're so busy running their shop today that there's no time to think about the growth of tomorrow. That's one of the things that small businesses confront heavily, is that you are being bombarded. You can barely breathe. You're just trying to keep the business running every day, every day, every day. That when somebody like myself comes in and says, start thinking about growth and expansion, about national, about international, it's a stretch. Now, on the large business standpoint, they already have teams, they have dedicated people, right? Managing regions of the world. They have dedicated people managing states. They are organized. They have districts, right? Because once you start growing big, you have representatives in the states, and then they start putting structures in place. This is the district manager. This is the person in charge of sales here, sales here. They zone the country, because now you have to be managing not just one location, but multiple locations. So the ability to design that structure is one of the struggles small businesses face, right? So if you don't have that, if you don't bring in such experts to help you map your growth plan, that's why many, not all small businesses grow into a large business. Because again, the secret to the success of the largest businesses in the world is that they go national and they go international. Those are the two things they do, right? Because if you don't go national or international, you can win in a state, you can win in your city, you can be big, people can be going in and out, buying your stuff, right? But there's only so many clients and customers in your city, in your states, right? The moment you want more, you want to conquer, you want to go broader, right? You have to start thinking differently. So, Mr. Andre, did I say your name well? Please teach me how to say your name, please.
It's Andre.
Andre.
I say it.
Awesome. Welcome to the stage. Please go ahead. Ask your question or make your comment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I like people like yourself, things that you're saying. And I tell people as I work with people in my business, that one thing we need to do first is separate and establish. Are you trying to build a business and a brand, or are you trying to get some pocket money? Government grants are not going to give you no grant for some side hustle. You need a business. And too many people I've come across, especially in some of these rooms on Clubhouse, they're thinking so quickly about trying to get some money. Not understanding a simple business 101 principle. 7 out of 10 businesses that open that just to go get money fail. If you provide a product or a service or answer a question, they are in business. They've been there for many, many years. But people don't understand the concept. When you're dealing with the government and government contracts, they're going to ask you questions of things that's on the contracts or the agreements that you put together that you need to know how to answer, such as how much money do you actually want? And then they're going to ask you, this is things I do with people every day in my business. They ask questions about, once you get the actual money you ask for, someone's going to ask the question, is this going to take you through the whole 12 months? And does this cover the whole 12 months of 1 year? You got to know the answer. You know what your breakdown is going to be. They're going to ask you how the money is going to be allocated. We're not talking about just putting some money in your pocket and getting you some trinkets. That's not how it works. People don't understand that when you get ready to go into these grants or these loans or things that you're trying to get into, I don't care if it's a banking situation, even for a credit card, they're going to ask you questions that you have to answer. And if your 15 side hustles don't come along with the EIN number, don't even help yourself to go try to get no grant nowhere, because side hustles does not count as a job. Those are 15 skills that you have. So I agree with you when we talk about federal grants and things. People got to remember, side hustles is good for making some pocket money. If you want to get you some clothes, go to the game, eat some food on the side, that's cool. I have nothing wrong with that. But I deal with business people. I do brand deals with people. I tell them how to get money, not just get the money, but show them how to manage the money. Because that's our problem. If they give you $50,000 today, right now, for your business, what would you do with it? How would you run your business with it? Because many people don't know how to understand that concept. They haven't got simple things in place that need to be in it. Do you have an accountant? Do you have a separate account for your taxes? Separate account for your payroll? These are things to keep in mind what you're doing, because at some point they're going to come into play. And if you're sitting there not associated with the right companies, you get your grade, because when you have a business with an EIN number, you get a grade. Your business eventually gets a grade if you're doing business. And your grade, like the Better Business Bureau, will have a grade. People will see this, be to read you. But people don't understand. You got to keep in mind that in the world of business, your competition is not the guys on Clubhouse. Your competition is TV and radio. Whatever's appearing on TV and radio is what America understands and likes. So if you're not relating to that, meaning that running reels are cool, I like reels, but if your reel is running with no call to action, then all you're doing is entertaining people. And I tell people all the time, if you're not educating people in your business, then you're just entertaining them. People always think, oh, well, I got 10,000 followers on Facebook. That's great. But have you asked yourself this question? Have you turned that 10,000 followers into maybe 5,000 potential customers?
Yeah.
All the followers in the world make no sense.
What you're speaking on is so important. Because the reason I teach and train people to be business professionals is because we have to be business professionals, right? My book, I have a book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur: Strategy, Skills, and Mindset for Achieving Business Growth and Success. And it's really for those who are going from employee mindsets and attempting to launch a business without changing their mindset. Right? If you bring in employee mindset into the world of business, failure is at hand. Because that mindset, which, by the way, the traditional education system took at least 20 years of your life to train you to become the perfect employee. If you have a degree or two, I have the 2 degrees, right? You spend at least 18 to 20 years being groomed to become the perfect employee, 20 years of our lives, right? If you take that mindset, that thinking, and you attempt to launch a business without transforming yourself, without transforming your thinking, without developing new skills, without thinking like an entrepreneur, this is what you see mostly to people who haven't transformed their thinking, who haven't developed business skills, business acumen, and they're trying to create another job. So literally, the employee mindset with an idea will create another cage. Right? It's like the lion in the zoo, the lion in the wild. You just cage yourself again, because that's the way the mind has been trained. You create, quote and unquote, a business, an idea, and all of a sudden you box yourself, you throw yourself in, and now the business is running you. You're not running a business. Employee mindset is what does that. Because that mindset is not one that builds processes that is outside of you, that you can sell, that has value, that holds value, that has structure, right? Entrepreneurs build assets. Equity is the game. Entrepreneurs create value and distribute value and exchange value, and sales is exchange, the transaction, right? So when an employee without an entrepreneurial mindset is attempting to build a business, you will see all these things you just talked about. That's why for me, I see people saying, oh, I'll help you build website. I'll help you build. But many people are not saying, I'll help you train to be a professional, to think like a business professional, to think like an entrepreneur, to develop the skills of entrepreneurship. That's why I have a school. That's why I'm not telling you to buy one course or one class, jump here, jump there. No, you will run through an accelerator program. There are over 300 resources in my school because I know it takes that much for you to transform to be a business professional. Listen, it took you 20 years to become an employee, to be dependent on an employer. Listen, how long will it take you to become a business professional? That's why I always say, hurry up. Hurry up and learn fast so that you can do the work that will get you the result, the business success you want. Because until you transform your thinking, employee mindset creates a cage and then it locks the founder inside, and now you are struggling. You can't come out of it again. Now another rat race. And in fact, this is what I say. That cage is even worse than being an employee. Because at least if you're an employee, your salary is intact. At least your employer is working for you. Starting a business with employee mindset is worse than being an employee. Trust me. The reason I'm passionately teaching and coaching and guiding and writing books and doing classes and teaching lead and all these things is because I've seen the highs of people really, this stuff is painful. And the number one mistake is that you've not changed your mindset. You've not changed how you think about life and your work. And education is how we increase the quality and the value of the work we can do. So until we expose our mind, the day you say you want to build a business, please, you need to become a business professional. If nobody has told you, I'm saying it now. You need to train yourself to be an employer, the visionary, the architect, solution provider, value creator, value distributor. And don't fall for this title of content creator, please. Please, no. I've taught a class on this stuff before, where I broke down, I did a map and I said, wealth creators will use content to make money. Okay? Content creator alone, you can be contenting all you want and not be a wealth builder. You can content all you want. The mind of a wealth builder will use content differently. So let me stop there. Any other reaction before I go on?
Quick thing I want to add to what you said. One of the reasons that a lot of these independent businesses that start up fail, from what I've seen on the numbers, is that they put the cart before the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody goes in talking about making money. Every classroom, I've been on these different rooms. The first thing they tell you, and this is what I tell people all the time, because I've been on here only about a year, and this is what I've heard in the last 12 months. Everyone comes on the page, come on here, and talk about what they can sell to you. But no one has ever said why you need it. Why you need the service that I have. Now, why is that important? Because as consumers ourselves, we buy with the benefits. That's what everybody, you go into clothing store, car, wherever you go, it's the benefits they sell you first. Not what kind, I got cars. No. What kind of car are you looking for? Looking for this, that, the other. They sell you the benefits. Then they show you the car. Then they tell you the price. Now, the price is high, but the benefits are, you get all the benefits you want. You're going to figure out how to afford what you want. We pay for things that we want. And the one thing I watch a lot of people in these rooms, and I find it so entertaining, is that when people try to help other people, the first thing that they do is look at you side-eyed. Not understanding that, for instance, I don't sell anybody anything. I provide information that can help them. Now, what we have can do things for you, and it costs got a fee beside it, then we do that. But I'm not only to say, buy this, get this. No, I'd like to have a conversation with people to find out, what do you already have? What do you need? Where are you trying to go? And if we can help that, we'll do it. But here's the more important thing. If I can't do it myself, I have a bunch of professionals on my website that we work with in all categories that I can refer them to, such as yourself. If you deal in these kind of things with grants and federal loans, I can do it. My team can do it, but we don't want to do it.
Yeah, but we
have, if, as part of, as you've been in our directory, we will put your name up under behind the logo that says government grants. Put your name behind it. Let them click on it and go to you.
Yeah, but here's the key. If I may come in there, here's the first key: is that you cannot sell to people who do not have self-awareness. Like I teach all those things, blind spots, customer blind spots, right? Is that one of the errors of the day for those who do not have the experience, right? The entrepreneurship skills, is that the first rule that I say for you to assess if somebody is a lead, is a quality lead, is that is this person even aware of what they need, their struggle? Because nobody is going to invest or move closer to something they do not perceive that they need or want or desire, right? Or something they don't perceive that there's value in there, right? So you cannot sell to people who are not self-aware. And this is one of the reasons many people do not grow their business from early startup to established, because lack of awareness, okay, which is also mindset. There's no clarity, lack of clarity, okay? Where am I going? What's the gap? What do I need to get there? It's simple. It's as simple. Where are you trying to get to? Where are you right now? What's holding you back? What do you need to go from where you are to where you are going? That exercise in of itself it's an exercise in clarity definition. So what you will find are it's really confusion. People that are confused. You can't sell to confused people. You can't sell a solution. Sorry?
Keep in mind, there are, for every one person who wants to lead,
Lead.
there are 9 people who want to follow.
Who wants to follow or would not follow? Can you repeat that?
I can tell you who wants to follow. The ones who want to follow are the ones that use these two excuses that I tell people to get out of their vocabulary. I can't afford, and I don't know how to. If you say those 2 words on a daily basis, and whatever you touch for yourself, you're not going to see these successful.
But that's still what I'm saying. That's still employee mindset. It's still that's what the 2 things you just mentioned now is still employee mindset that is baked into lack and it's limited mindset, because the entrepreneur is industrious. We make things happen through relationship. What you need is always in somebody's hands, right? The entrepreneurship mindset you have to replace limitation with abundance and a sense of possibility, because until you embrace a sense of possibility, you are going nowhere. It's part of the cage. Remember, I talked about the cage. People are caged in. They don't have this, they don't have that, they don't know this, they don't know. That's the story that they cage themselves in. That's the employee mindset, the limited mindset, where you think the resources, you are the only one who have the resources, and the resources is you. No, right? It's listen, the entrepreneur's mindset is the world is mine. I can form relationships. Where is the resource I need? Who do I need to know? Whose hands do I need to shake to start a conversation where resources can transfer to me? Right? The entrepreneur knows that once I have an idea, it has nothing to do with what you have in your account or not. It's really when you start saying your network is your network. Can you call somebody? Can you introduce yourself? Can you present value? The entrepreneurial mindset is not a limited mindset, unlimited, right? You cannot, once you limit your thinking to what you have in your house, even Bible will say what's in your hand, because your ability, the entrepreneur's mindset will take something small and multiply. But as long as you are thinking this seed is small, you don't know the multiplication power in a seed as a farmer. If a farmer is saying this seed is small, so I won't plant it, I won't invest it, the farmer is in the wrong job. Because the mindset of a farmer believes in multiplication. The mindset of a farmer is one that this one seed, this bunch of seed, when I put it in the ground, when I invest in myself, when I learn a new skill, when I build a new relationship, when I bury it, something is activated. There's a principle of multiplication that is activated when you invest in yourself. But the employee doesn't know that. The employee doesn't know that. But the entrepreneur, the only reason you keep growing is that you keep living by faith. You throw everything you have, you throw it, it multiplies. You throw it again, it multiplies. Leverage. Leverage is the weapon of the entrepreneur. But as long as you're saying this, that's the employee mindset speaking, which is the cage. Until you break free from that thinking of limitation, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have that, I don't have this. Nobody has anything. You think Elon Musk had $42 billion in his account for him to buy Twitter? You think he's always had the money to build Tesla? No. No. It doesn't start. Everybody starts somewhere. Bill Gates started in the garage. But the entrepreneurial mindset is you activate new relationships. That gives you results. Everything you need is in this world. It may not be in your hands. It's in somebody's hands, including the topic of today, it's in government's hands. There's certain resources in the hands of the government that will help you build your business. There's certain help that is outside of you. And until you kill pride, you will not seek help. You won't raise your hands. The employee mindset is proud of what they can do. And so when they look within themselves and they don't have capacity, that's it. That's the end. Not realizing capacity, you can multiply and activate growth with the capacity of other people. What other people can do is bigger than what you can do. Partnerships. My TV show, listen, partnerships. Thank you for your partnerships. You grow your business through partnership, but as long as you're saying, oh, me, that is the employee mindset speaking. And that mindset will take you nowhere. It will not take you past your desk. Because the employee only thinks about their desk. And also, some people do business better if they've gotten into management, right? Maybe they've gone to VP level. VPs understand leadership principle a little bit. But line workers that have never led people, have never done these things, you start a business, that mindset cages you. Oh, I don't have this. No, nobody does business only with what they have. Nobody does business only with what they have. Because what you have is limited for the vision God gave you. That's why I'm activating something to say, government has unlimited, they have resources. Tap into it. There are several things. In fact, listen, the employee mindset know how to get a loan to get a residential house you live in. Entrepreneur will do the same activity to power a business. Different mindsets. So I've seen this, like I cover a lot of this in my book. This is why I say training. For you to you have to become a business professional. That's the key. You have to learn how to build a world-class business. And 20 years made you the perfect employee. That stuff is in the way of business success. So I've seen many of these things before. I've seen it before. This is why I always recommend train fast, because our thinking stops us from doing what we ought to be doing. I know I just went off there because I've written a book about this. I see it all the time because here's the key. People don't follow again because when there's no clarity, when there's no self-awareness, when there is confusion, when there is chaos, when there is restlessness, You can't lead. You can't lead those people. You can't lead because even followers, they have to see the leader, they have to believe in the leader, they have to trust the leader. They have to invest time to doing what the leader tells them to do. So that in of itself is another entirely different journey. Right? So if I tell you my school, if you don't believe in me, if you don't see me, if you don't trust me, if you don't listen to what I'm saying, then even people who want to lead others to success, you can only lead those who want to be led. You can only lead, you can only serve those who want to be served. You can only lead those who are ready to be led. And before that, all you can do is just to be helping people provide clarity and remove confusion. That's why I do a lot of content. Because those who need this work the most, they're the ones seeking it out the least. Let me repeat that. Those who need support the most, those who need information the most, those who need skills the most, they are the ones seeking it the least. And that's the challenge. That's the challenge. So I'll stop there because this maybe part 1, part 2, part 3 of this topic. I'm going to start wrapping up. So I want to thank everybody that has joined. For those on Clubhouse, the link up above, programs, you can see my school, you can book a one-on-one, you can also join our government platform as well. So I'll start closing now because this conversation doesn't end here. It just continues in my spaces, in my events. Like there's so many things going on there. So watch out. If my students already, they have first access. My students and my class always and my clients always have the front row access to all of the resources we're releasing. So I'm bringing on SBA leadership. They're coming this month. Exim. I already host events, big mega events, but now my TV show every week, right, in person in my city. We're growing. We're providing insights, and I always encourage people. The best insights in the world, they are not common. You're not finding them on social media. What you find is what people have recycled, the same thing being said over and over again. But I invite those who want to go deeper, right? Who wants to build, grow, and scale their business faster with resources, government insight. For example, if you're in Illinois, our team, Illinois District Export Council, we are actually tasked with educating the business community with the resources to take their business right international. So that's it. It's a wrap for today. Join us at the Entrepreneurs Academy. Become my clients because at the end of the day, this is when I release all this activation to my clients and customers. And when I say my students as well, is because we have to train ourselves to think like a business professional, to become one. And at that time, we can adopt that mindset and we can do the work that will help us go into the next phase of growth as a business owner. Okay. One other thing I say is that you can be a business owner, you don't have to be an entrepreneur because literally you can go and buy a franchise right now. If you don't want to listen, the entrepreneur bears a lot of pain of putting in place structures and processes for the first time. If you don't, let me give you a tip. If you don't like the pain of entrepreneurship, of figuring what works, what you need to sell, what structures will help you sell it, what business model, if that stuff is too hard, put your money together, just go and buy a franchise because franchise gives you the peace of mind. Somebody else has figured it out. They've built a brand, a recognizable brand, right? They've built products that people already want, right? They've built processes that will help you. You just have to follow the process. You just have to be able to follow the leadership, right? But you pay. This is why you pay heavily, right? Because they are rescuing you from figuring it out. So I just put that out there as well. Because to be an entrepreneur, to call yourself an entrepreneur, you will do so much. Like that's why what I teach in my school, you got to go to toyinyumesiri.com/programs and see and enroll in my school. Because if you want to be an entrepreneur, then you have to develop the skills that allows you to design the processes, right? That to put in the structures, to automate, to do those things, to build your brand from scratch. And if you know you don't have the skills to do all of those things, another way out is franchise. because that's what you're buying. You're buying peace of mind that somebody else will support you, that a winning business model that already makes money, they will give you all the financial, they will give you all the system, they will give you all the tools. You just need to literally follow that process and you will make money. Right? So you don't have to be an entrepreneur to be a business owner. I guess that's what I'm saying. You do not have to be an entrepreneur to be a business owner. An entrepreneur figures everything out. A business owner, you can bring your money, buy, you can do Subway, you can, so many ways to make money. Put all your money together, get a franchise, you will make money if money is what you're looking for. But an entrepreneur, there's a different way of thinking, and this is why I teach and train those who want to go into that dimension. Okay, that's it. Thank you everyone that's listened. Caleb, parting words. I know you've been on stage with me. I also see comments. Great job, got to go. Yes. My hands are up. Oh, your hand is up. I didn't know. Let me see. Let me invite you back up. Sorry. Caleb, go on.
All right, well said, well said. I mean, thank you. So, in summary, being a business person is an art. Like, should I say art of being a business or being an entrepreneur rather?
It's a profession. It's a profession.
Yeah.
Just like if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, right? The reason is because it's a profession is that to succeed in that profession, you must master certain principles, you must know certain things, and you must develop specific skills. Many people don't say this. This is the problem, right? They don't see entrepreneurship through the lens of the principle of wealth creation mindset, which is, by the way, not in our curriculum. Nobody taught us sales, marketing, but realized that somebody else went and spent 5 years. Like, this thing is so important to business growth that if you're a founder and you don't train yourself to sell, to market, or hire a team that can sell for you, the business cannot grow. These are the fundamental skills for success, right? So I say it as it's a profession. It's a profession we ought to be going to school for. That's why I created a school and I teach at least 10 subjects around entrepreneurship. That's why what I'm selling and what I'm offering is a school enrollment. Many people just want the easiest thing they can do. And I'm telling you, you're just extending your journey. You're just extending your journey. If all you're doing is, oh, teach me how to use Reels, teach me how to use Instagram, because Instagram can be here today, something else will replace it tomorrow. You will use those tools when you know how to use those tools. But many people are learning tools, but they are not training to be professional. So it is a profession. Business development skills is required. Marketing knowledge, branding knowledge, sales knowledge, right? All these things are subjects. I treat them as subjects in my school. Let's master how many books do you have to read to be a medical doctor? How many books do you have? What do you have to learn to be a pilot? I say it's like we want to train you to be the pilot of your business. We have to fly that business to success, up, not down. We want to make our business grow, right? So that's why I teach and train business professionals how to be a business, right? To replace the employee mindset. Like my book covers the mindset of an entrepreneur. But if you use employee mindset, you bring it into the world of business, it crashes it. Because employees sit back and they are told, sit at your desk, everybody will bring everything you need to you. And I can see that mindset everywhere on this, like, social media. They are bringing consumer mindset. No, you have to replace consumer mindset with productivity, producer mindset. An entrepreneur is a producer of value. And producers have a different energy than consumers. Producers pursue, they don't wait. So I see many people that haven't shifted this thing I'm talking about. They are bringing in employee mindset and they believe they can sit down in their house and success will come and meet them. It is the employee mindset that taught us how to sit quietly at a desk, because you are told, how you do your grade on your seat. You'll be graded, you get your salary, you pass mark. No, businesses is you don't sit still. Entrepreneurs do not sit at you sit to your own detriment. You see why you need to replace it? The lion in the zoo can sit down waiting for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because they've promised him, the circus master promised, right? But the lion in the wild, when you are hungry, you pursue. If you are not hungry, you sit down and relax and digest your food. So the energy of an entrepreneur constantly on alert, on the lookout for something that will change your life, change the life of your business. The energy is different. Everything I'm seeing that I see on social media, I was like employee mindset, waiting and sitting back and saying, oh, pleasure me. Pleasure me. I'm not here to pleasure nobody. That's why you see on social media, they say entertain them. Who are we entertaining? A producer doesn't need entertainment. A producer will tell you, teach me how to produce more results, which is what entrepreneurs ought to be asking for. But you can entertain those who are not being productive, because entertainment in and of itself, okay, stops you from thinking about what you ought to be solving. Let me repeat that. Entertainment is a bypass, it's a drug, so that we don't think about things that we need to be solving with our mind. You can't be watching a movie and solving a problem. No, it doesn't work that way. Entertainment makes us forget everything we want to forget. And so the employee mindset, the consumer mindset, the entertainment mindset cannot do this work I'm talking about. And so when I go into rooms and I see people saying, Tony, when next are you coming to social media? I'm like, employee mindset right there. Because if anything I've said, okay, is important to your growth, you ought to be running after those solutions. And so when I don't see people, because I run after people that I need to power my business. Right? And if you think I can help you power your business, you will run. This is a different way of thinking. When I'm emailing government, when I'm inviting people, when I'm establishing partnership, when I'm doing my TV show, I'm doing my event. Listen, I'm firing emails. I'm inviting, I'm setting up meetings. I'm pursuing relationship, dynamic relationship. So when I see people that are not running after me, I'm like, I'm not coming to you. Solutions. People who actually have dynamic solution. Government doesn't come to you guys. You've not noticed. They're not coming on social media. They can't even type on social media. They have rules. They can't engage with you on social media. They are not coming to Clubhouse. They are not allowed to say certain things because they are not representing themselves. They are representing the government of the United States. And if it's not sanctioned, if the platforms is not approved, right, they will not speak on social media or any platform that hasn't been tested, right? So if you stay on social media, you're waiting. You run after opportunities. But guess what happens? When I finish this session, consumer mindset that wants to keep consuming content will tell me, Tony, will you be here tomorrow? Tell me what time you'll be. I'm like, listen, I'm not running for you. I'm not running after you. If you heard me say anything, you run into my programs, you run into my class, you run into my sessions, you ask me, Tony, can I fly in to come and meet you? And when I don't hear any of that, I'm like, I'm not here to entertain nobody. Nobody. Because those we entertain are the people who do not want to do the work. Hear me well. I know this thing. I teach psychology. I teach all these thing, mindset things. Anybody that tells me, Tony, come back, I know that person is not running after transformation. Facts. Because the day Elisha sees Elijah, you run after the people that will change your life. And then those who you want to you just want to relax on social media. You say, come, feed me more content. The people who need content are the ones who do not have skills. Anyway, I speak fiercely, directly, because I've seen enough of these things. You run. The entrepreneur chases. You chase opportunities. You chase it. The lion, we will chase. You want to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Activate pursuit. Activate your desire to pursue. Pursue meaningful. Listen, I pursue. I will follow you to the ends of the earth. If I know I need I will follow you to the ends of the earth. That's what I do. I will follow you there and then invite you here. That's what I do. Listen, I will come and meet you. Egypt, I will go. I will go. I will meet you, shake your hands, get your business card, and then I will be calling you. When are you coming to Chicago? Right? I will come. I will call you so much. Listen, World Bank chief. Listen, Dr. Albert, I need you here. What's your calendar like? Oh, I'm busy. I know you are busy. You are hosting, World Bank this. I know. But can you give me 5 minutes of your time, even 10 minutes? Tony talks to my assistant, block his calendar. I need him. That's how we get things done. You pursue value. The higher the value, the higher your pursuits. These people, they're not coming to you, guys. Government is not coming to you. One thing that I do with my events is I bridge conversation. So when I'm hosting events, summits, programs, I create a platform where we can then bridge and talk to them and engage and learn from them. That is the power of these platforms I create. Because they are not coming to anybody's doorstep. That's not their job. I just went off there. I know. Kenny, over to you.
I was trying to speak to you before I went on the street. It's very loud in New York. But just a quick question. I totally understand what you are stating as to pursue, but when does pursuing become more of a burden for the person receiving the emails and the phone calls? What is the timeline in terms of me calling a company or a person to ask them for their time?
Okay, here's the key. When I say pursue, because this is why I say training. If you've gone through my training, you already have the answer. You wouldn't be asking this question, because one of the rules of success, I taught a session, 12 strategies for winning in life and business. One of the strategy is networking. And in that program, I actually teach you how to network. Right? You network in a way where people can't tell you no. Okay? So the program, the mindset program, the game plan, 12 strategies for winning in life and business. One of the strategies is how to network. In fact, the topic is networking for, I think, wealth creation or something like that. Because there's an art to networking. You're right. You can become a nuisance when you don't have value. You don't network as a quote unquote beggar. If you carry an energy of please, people are running the other way. This is why I also train people. Remove the energy, replace it with value. Because any message that you send, if people receive it and they believe it's valuable, this is why I've written about it. I teach about it in my school. These are principles for success. Is that it's a value exchange. Every relationship that leads to a transaction is a value exchange. There's not, people don't, in the world of business, is not something for nothing. It's not something for nothing. So all this mindset that people believe, oh, free this, free that, you bring free into a business meeting, people will be running from. People who have value, they will carry their purse and run away. Investors will run away from you. Business owners will run away from you, right? Because fundamentally, there's nothing free in business. Somebody paid a price to create that value. Fundamentally, there's nothing free. There's nothing free in the world of business. Somebody paid a price to create that value. And so those who do not value other people's work cannot network. People who do not value people's time, people's energy, people's work, people's this. And so any email you send that carries this entitlement smell, people will abandon it. They won't respond. They won't respond. I wouldn't respond. I won't respond. So there are ways you network. It is a skill. Networking is a skill. Networking in such a way that people will always give you a yes. What you want is a yes. People don't tell me no. People don't tell me no. You can't tell me no. You know why? Because in a way, anytime we establish partnership, everybody wins. Whenever I design, I've written in my school, there's if you search for networking, if you start search for my 5 rules of partnerships, I share everything I do, how I do it, I teach my students. Because it's a principle. You repeat it, you will get the results. People can't tell me no, because every partnership, there's a reward tied to it. I reward people who partner with me. It's not charity. It's not charity at all. So if people are saying, help me do this, so depending on how your email goes, it's a skill. Networking is a skill. And there are certain things, people come from social media and they start typing all kinds of things. Hi, this, I, that. Nobody responds to that. Nobody responds to that. Help me do this. Nobody responds to that as well. Oh, I need your time. Nobody responds to that as well. There's some key phrases you use that nobody responds to. Nobody who carries value will respond to such. That's why I teach. The game plan, 12 strategies for winning in life and business, it's right there in my school. You start it week 1. Because the thinking of, oh, this, right, it doesn't work in these dimensions. And that's the error of the day. But if you want to improve your results, you want to accelerate your result, that's what my school is for. I teach not just business skills, I teach success principles, I teach 360. That's why, again, enrollment in the school is what I sell. I don't just say, oh, take this class and I will make you money. Isn't that what you're seeing on social media? Teach this and no. It's about building ourselves, to fortify ourselves and empower ourselves for the skills for business success. And networking is one of those. So if you don't shift how you network, nobody responds, right? Nobody responds. So it's a skill. It's a skill. It's a skill. And I teach everything. I pretty much put my playbook together and I give it away for a skill in my school. Enroll, become a member. 300 resources is right there, accessible to you. I teach, I coach, I guide, because those who want to achieve success, it's not just, oh, I know how to do this. No, you do the wrong thing, you don't get what you want, particularly at the highest levels. On social media, people can say anything, type anything. There are no consequences to what people are sharing, right? That's social media for you. No consequences, right? But the day you start going into new dimensions, like my platforms and all of those things, there are serious consequences to those things. So yeah, I can't really help you other than saying enroll, take the class if you want to learn how to network in such a way that will get you results. It's one of those bundled programs in my school. 12 strategies for winning, right? Networking is a strategy for winning in business and life. Not just networking, oh, this, that, how are you? That that is basic stuff. I'm saying networking that will get you everything you want. Everything you want is available. It's in somebody's hands. It's in somebody's hands. Partnerships. Partnerships that would unlock incredible opportunities, right? That's what I do. I do a whole lot of partnerships. Like partnerships, platform partnerships. I have platforms, other people have platforms. We exchange platform. I bring value, they bring value. Together we do greater things. If I bring value and they bring value, the combined value, impact. That's where impact comes from. Impact, massive impact. So when I'm hosting events and doing this, my TV show, massive impact. Collectively together, those who I work with and those who work with me, collectively we make some noise. We make noise. So everybody goes home happy. So nobody is not just helping me. You are helping yourself by support, right? This is where partnership comes in. But if you send somebody email and it's like, you need me, but you have nothing to offer, nobody rests, because it's not charity. Business is not charity. Many people come to it from, because that's why I say the mindset on social media, free this, free that, content, this. Don't bring, leave that stuff on social media. It doesn't work when you go into rooms where value is being exchanged. It fails. Social media is a bad teacher. Let me stop, guys. Let me wrap this thing up. Kenny, make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Thank
Yeah. Social media is a bad teacher. It's a bad teacher. Doesn't teach. I've taught a session on I taught protocol, right? Government has protocol, bureaucracy, and legal expectation. It's like knocking on somebody's door and you bring your assumptions in. They will shut the door on you. If you don't learn the protocol that governs that house, that office, and you're bringing your social media assumption that you can say, listen, they don't even have to respond. They'll just say, sorry, I think you have the wrong address. They'll just close the door because it's disrespectful to their office and their space. So all these things people do, it doesn't work. There are many things that it's only on social media that it happens. And those who are staying on social media, listen, it's teaching people bad habits. Social media is not professional. It's informal, but the real places in the world they still have protocol. You ought to be learning protocol. If you want to enter certain rooms and operate at a certain level, dancing on reels will not help you. Protocol, how to communicate, right? How to type a letter that when if the receiver is professional, they'll go, wow. How to speak the language of power and influence and wealth. It's different, guys. It's not how people communicate. All this hi, hello, all these things. Guys, it only works on social media where you are being social. In the real dimensions, you will write proposal. You will write letters on letterhead. You will sign some signature. You will put some stamps. You will put cover letter to move certain offices because it's protocol. Every communication is documented. Every email you send is fully documented. Right? There are certain offices, they don't even do email. You must listen, you send an email and you say, oh, I want this. They will say, go and bring a formal letter. We cannot act on it unless your request is documented, because we are going to stamp it with the day we received it. We're going to print it out and file it in a document. Protocol, guys. Protocol. I'm telling you, there are some offices you email, your email, they can't respond to an email. They can only respond to a formal letter. This thing is happening. This is the real world of advancement. But on social media, you just say, hi, email me, DM me, and you think life, that stuff, it stops there. If you bring that stuff and you're emailing a government person or an investor and I say, hi, DM me, oh, listen, trash. It's trashy. Trash. Anyway, you see why I don't like, I prefer this one-on-one. I can tell you the truth. Right? One-on-one, I'll tell you the truth. We'll clean up. Joseph cleaned up before he went to Potiphar. Listen, we clean up. Not Potiphar, the prime minister. You clean up. When God is telling you, I'm taking you higher, you have to leave the former things. All this gimmicky stuff, this, that. You can't even do this to the CEO of a company. All these things people are doing on social media, all this casualness and this. The people who are procurement officers, whose signature matters, do you know they are not participating on this social media thing? They can't type anything, but they are watching, they are observing, they are listening. They are on social. They might be logging because COVID-19 made us all go virtual, right? But they cannot type. They are not engaging in this social media stuff. The people engaging in social media, right? You have nothing to lose, right? Or we are using it, for me, it's a tool in my business. It's a tool. So I use it. That's why I say use social media. Don't let it use you. If you're not using it, it's using you. You see, Those who don't want the truth will not understand what I'm saying, and that's okay. But when you are my student, we will tell the truth, we'll clean up, and then we'll go get our stuff. Right? Those who have gone through my programs are the only ones I introduce. These days, I don't introduce people anymore unless you've gone through my program, because I cannot. Here's what's happening. I can't assume that you understand protocol anymore. I used to assume that everybody understand, because I was trained by the British system. My dad was in leadership. So from a very young age, I used to I used to be my dad's assistant, typing legalese, all this legal language, you know, letterhead, cross your T's, dot your I's, read it over and over, underline this, dear sir, address this. Those things they used to teach us, right? Remember how to write a letter. I am telling you, the world still works that way. You may not be in the room, you may not be in that conversation. I'm telling you, exactly that is still what I do. Exactly that. Even for my TV show, I have two proposal. I write because government is involved. Formal letterhead. This is what's going on. Listen, I type everything up. Formal, legal documents. You can't just say government come, hi, just come. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. They don't respond to all these things you're typing on social media. It doesn't work that way. Legal documents, legal. Yours from my office to yours. Linda says this is interesting. It's what I'm sharing right now is, how do I say it? It is sad that people don't understand that all these things are happening in your offices at those levels, VP and above. Anybody VP and above, everything I just said, they understand it. It's not news. It's not. It's the people that need to be groomed into leadership, government or business, that if you haven't been exposed, you actually you are not aware that there's another world when it comes to where influence, power, and wealth. Those worlds do not do all these things people are doing on social media. They are governed by certain type of decorum and different things. The rules of the game changes when there is influence. I don't mean social media follower influence. No, that's not what that's not what I'm not saying TikTok influencer. Oh my god. Oh, that's not what I'm saying. Because now we've corrupted all these things. Okay. Where there is influence, let me say governmental influence or business influence, your title carries influence, formal, right? Where there is power, where there is money, wealth, the principles that govern that world is different from all the things you are seeing around you. If you're not in those rooms, if you don't entertain those rooms, because I host those rooms, I belong in those rooms, I do life in those rooms, and I'm trying to share that when I come on social media, it's world apart. It's worlds apart. It's world apart. And I don't know, like I'm even thinking of launching a program in my church, maybe in partnership with my church for, it's I've already crafted it. I just need to decide when I want to teach it. It's leadership essentials for those called to lead the world of business and government, right? Right? Because I'm called to build leaders and train leaders, right? Those who will lead the world. Those who will lead the world. Are you going to lead the world in business and government? Those two spaces, right? We need people who go through their process. And in wrapping up, I've been trying to wrap up, but I'll put in a spiritual principle right now. There's a scripture that says, many are called, few are chosen. Listen, no, don't worry. I won't share it anymore. Because all these things have spiritual principles, guys. To be chosen is different from to be called. You can go into military, and I see the gift activator. You can come up if you are available, right? Because I'm wrapping up. To be chosen, you can enroll in military. But to be chosen, you will go through your own process of training. Life is that way. Everybody has a calling, everybody. But not everybody is going through their process to be trained. You know, Jesus said he will prune us. He said he will prune us. He will cut away behaviors, thoughts, ideas that are unproductive. That's what Jesus promised us. Because he wants, promise of Genesis 1 is be fruitful and multiply. Anything stopping you from bearing the fruit God wants you, God has a duty. If you will let him, he wants to prune it, right? Behaviors, thoughts, assumptions, negativity, all the whining. Because it was, if you think about the children of Israel, those were the things God was trying to work. It took them a longer route. They could have easily gone to the promised land, but we all could be entering, right? But if we're unprocessed, we make a mess, guys. When we don't go through God's process and you just enter, I've seen it before. Hi. Let's say you come in, you come in physically now to one of my events where it's high profile, and you just come in and you bring your social media handle and say, hi, hi. People just go, okay. Social media, this is not social media. It's not social media. It's not social media. So that's what's going on. Is that the coach in me now has come out. I started this session more on a high note, let's do business. But the coach in me, this is why I call me Coach Toy. In certain rooms, call me Toy. But when conversations go on like this, Coach Toy comes out and Coach Toy says, guys, let's do better. Let's do better. Go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thank you very much for everything you've shared. And this is so true. I really agree with you. I remember working with the brand I do work with now, and we had the new entry. And when the HR was introducing, I said, okay, this is in this company, you don't address anybody as sir, you don't address anybody as ma. So the lady came in and I was talking to her and I was like, okay, sir. So that was in the hierarchy of the job, he comes before me. And it was like, she just got newly employed that day, and just like, this is, in this brand, they don't call people sir or ma. And I just smiled.
Right.
Because, I don't know. Please go on.
No, go on, please.
Okay, and the major thing is, when we have, just like you said, the way it works in real life, the attitude, the way we give protocol and all those stuff. I observe how my bosses treat their own bosses in the same culture where they say, okay, no man, no sir. But somehow I observe that, because it's my nature. It's not even like I'm trying to pretend when I even do this things, when I do people personally. But then I observe that somehow it also helps me stand out in a kind of way. And not because I'm trying to do it intentionally to buy people or do anything. So, but because I don't know whether it's one wokeness that is coming. I don't know. People just feel you can just do things anyhow, especially younger persons like myself, like
Right.
this generation, because of how we have this access to just anybody,
Yeah, Caleb.
Go on.
But here's the key. What you are saying right now, nobody, like what I'm doing right now, nobody does it, because it's nobody's responsibility to coach and guide and groom other people. But I'm telling you, those who achieve success, they groom their own children into success. They groom their own children into success, because they know, just because I bettered you, if you don't learn these things, you will exclude yourself sharply. The golf club, they have decorum. The yacht clubs, there is a way of dressing, there's a way of being, there's a way of moving, there's a way of showing up. And anybody that doesn't come in prepared, the door, they won't, it's not their job to fix you. They will just close the door. They don't open the door. These are exclusive dimensions, right? Because when you go to a market, I always use this analogy. If you go to a market, just picture a scene. 3 people selling fish. The first person's fish. Caleb, did you want to say something else before I explain this thing?
No, please go on. I just go on first.
When you go to a market with your money, I'm just picture this. When I say market, I know I'm in Chicago, but I'm trying to give you this imagery. There are people selling fish. You go to the first person. The person's fish stinks. It stinks. What do you do, Caleb?
Move away.
You move. The next person is disrespectful. What do you do?
Move again.
You move. Until you get to the third person that has their hearts figured out. Who would you buy from?
The person that has their heart figured out,
Yes.
actually.
So that's what's happening every single day. Many people, their fish is stinking, but it's not our responsibility to tell you. If you can't figure it out yourself, it's your problem. That's what's happening in the world today. So when social media people are doing all kinds of radical things, it's only people who love you that will say, Caleb, you could have done things better. The market does not care enough about you to use their time and energy to fix you up, to give you this information I'm giving right now. This is the problem at hand, is that if you don't groom yourself, if you don't prepare yourself, if you don't fix yourself, if you don't brush your teeth and your breath is stinking, or you have food in your mouth, nobody tells you. They'll just leave you alone because it is expected that by this time you figure these things out. That's what's happening. So when we say get a coach, get a this, get a mentor, get a this, invest in yourself. You invest in yourself to fix yourself. Right? Because nobody in the world is going to give you their money when your fish stinks. Only people who love you will tell you, it stinks, guys. Why didn't you do your deodorant? Why didn't you wash your fish? Only people, maybe your coach, will call you out from your own stuff. And to make matters worse, the people whose fish stinks the most are the ones who are arrogant enough to believe everybody else stinks except themselves. That's the world we're living in. So guess what? We leave people alone until you seek out help. Right? We don't offer, because if you offer help, it's you will stink with that person. That's why you don't drag, like on social media, on Clubhouse, you don't drag with people. Only those who acknowledge that they need help will seek help. Until that person says something is stinking, is it me? Because most people will keep thinking everybody is thinking this, and the person whose fish is thinking will be like, everybody is thinking, and they don't know they are the ones thinking. And nobody will call them out. Nobody will tell them you're still. Nobody will tell them, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Nobody does that. You know what everybody will just say? Buy my class, So I just use that analogy to tell you it's nobody's job to get you off social media. In fact, many people are benefiting by you wasting your time and doing all kinds of random things. The more you type, the more the people who own the platform, they are happy that you are typing and spending your time. Right? I use social media, but I'm also telling you, know what it can do for you and know what it will not do for you. It will not groom you for success. In fact, it is making people think less. People cannot keep attention now. If you pick up a book, the book is not entertaining. It doesn't give you dopamine like social media. It's addictive. And the content on that is micro content is making the brain, is frying the brain. You can't hold attention. And trust me, if I ask you the last 24 hours, I've asked this, I will keep asking it. What can you remember that social media taught you? The last one day, the last 1 week, the last year, right? Everything I just shared now, has it shared this with you? Has it helped you get control? That's what's going on. It's not designed to help people achieve this level of success I'm talking about. Right? Elon Musk Mark Zuckerberg, they weren't thinking about using social media to help you achieve success. They have other plans for social media. It's to sell ads, to help themselves make billions of dollars. But a school like mine is designed. I'm not replacing social media. The school, a program is designed to train you and groom you for your own success. And that's where you ought to be investing in. Right? Social media was not designed to take you from where you are to where God wants you to be. Everybody has their process. Figure out what your process is. Find your teachers, find your coaches, find your mentors. I have mine. Right? And so if you don't have yours and you think you will lead yourself by yourself to these places, this dimension, even if, do you know, at a minimum, let Holy Spirit lead you. But many people, when the Holy Spirit tells you off your phone, they won't off the phone. Take this class, they won't listen. So even the Holy Spirit inside of us is trying to guide us, but we know what? Addictive behavior is in the way. Okay. Coach Tony needs to just tune off right now. let me go. Because like I shared, if the fish is thinking, if somebody wants to buy from you and you're not treating them right, people are losing money. I always say that your people relationship can lose you money. You don't talk to people right, you don't treat people right, you don't think about people positively. It's messing with your money, guys. It's messing with your wealth. You are your wealth. How we relate with people, how we engage with people, how we think about people, how we do life is what attracts. Because if somebody that is negative comes into your corner, you will run. We don't like humans, we do not like negativity. We don't do business with negative behavior and thinking. We don't, guys. We don't do business, we don't give our money with people to people who make us feel bad. We happily spend after somebody pleasures us or somebody solves a problem for us, and we say, oh, thank you. As you're saying thank you, you're giving that person your money. Why can't we reverse engineer this thing and adopt the thinking of the successful people? Positivity, personal development. Why can't we reverse engineer the same thing that we do? If you want to spend your money with somebody, you want to do business with somebody, and you look at the person's face and the person's face is not smiling at you. In fact, or you go to a restaurant and the person serving you food is like grumpy, you will stand up and just leave that restaurant. You will leave it. Because it's not their job to train you how to smile and say, welcome. If you cannot do welcome, you can't collect my money. Caleb, you're not giving your money to somebody that will not smile at you, right? These things are, I know Coach Toyin, like, listen, that's why I say call me Coach Toyin. If somebody wants to hear the truth is in my school, because the sooner we learn these things, all things are yours. The whole world is beckoning. Go on, Caleb.
No, like very true. And it's just like you said, nobody tells us these things. And even when we are privileged, to have parents where they shape us. For me, nobody said this is actually the way to behave. Even we learn the right things. Let's say for me personally, let me use myself for example. I was trained, I was influenced with, I would say, a lot of good virtues. But then, as we grow, we start exposure. With so much exposure, we now start seeing different ways different people react to certain scenarios. And now we don't now know, okay, of course I grew this way. I learned to think this way from childhood. But I didn't learn it by somebody directly trying to teach me. I just picked it up. There was no instruction that was like, this is the right way to always do this. I just found myself doing this as I grew up. But is it the right way? I've seen somebody else doing this thing this way. I've seen somebody else approaching the same matter this way. Which one? which one is the right way? So even when it seems like okay, I was doing the right thing in some areas growing up, I was not really taught to say like where there was that intentionality about it, that this is how you should go about in dealing with people. So even though I was getting it right, exposure was now exposure to different persons, different like a whole like a very like exposure to a lot of persons, a lot of cultures. That make you think that I was like, okay, am I still supposed to be doing this?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, go on, please.
What you're saying, right? But here's the key. Successful people are aware, they are self-aware. Okay. Self-awareness is key. Once you are self-aware that there are areas of yourself that needs improvement, you need to seek help. Where people fail is when they assume they ought to know. Listen, somebody taught you ABCD. Somebody taught you 1, 2, 3. Somebody taught you how to feed yourself. Somebody taught you how to tie your lace. We, as a human, as a being, you come to the world knowing nothing, guys. Everything you know now, somebody taught you consciously or subconsciously. So who told us that you're going to arrive at a place where you don't need any teacher anymore? That's the problem. The problem is that when you assume that you ought to know what you don't know, or you ought to know what you haven't been taught, Bible talks about how will they know unless somebody preaches to them. That even in gospel, even God doesn't assume that you know the story of Jesus until somebody preaches to you. Bible also says it hasn't entered the mind of man what God has intention, right? What the plans God has for us. That this is why we ought to be a student of life perpetually. We ought to be finding our teachers every day. We need to know that we need to know. We need to know that we need to know what we don't know. This is where humility lives in. Acknowledgement that there are certain things I need to know that I don't know, and I need to seek out who knows it that can teach me. Successful people are self-aware to know, hey, if I'm an athlete and now part of my job is to be showing up in media, I need a media coach to help me speak and address media so I don't fail. So you don't fail publicly. Failure teaches you what is not working. But the higher you go, failure becomes unacceptable because the cost of failure is greater than the cost of getting a teacher to teach you. It's only on social media. People say, fail fast. Fail. These people telling you fail fast, they will not fail. They cannot afford to fail. A pilot cannot fail. Listen, somebody riding a bicycle, failure is you stumble and your bicycle falls down and you pick it back. Maybe you get a scrape. You fix it. The cost of your failure is you and a few bandages. You made a mistake. You went the wrong way. You stumbled. You pick yourself. You keep. That's the cost of failure. Nothing. Social media. When you get to this dimension, you cannot let yourself fail. So this is why you learn. You learn from the best. You cover your mess, right? Because failure is Will Smith slapping somebody on the world stage. You can slap somebody on the street of social media, no consequences. You can even on your streets, you can slap somebody, no consequences. Zero consequences. You try that, in the wrong room. You are out. You are finished for life. You're finished. So failure is acceptable only to a certain degree in life, in a profession. So successful people cannot let themselves fail. So they surround themselves with lawyers, accountants, people who know what they are doing. They will pay the best of the best to teach them what they don't know, because not knowing is worse. The cost of not knowing, you cannot tell Wall Street, you didn't know. You cannot be ignorant of the law. You pay somebody who knows the law to tell you the law so that you don't go against the law. But online, social media, keep failing. No, zero consequences. Keep typing anything you want to type. Keep saying anything in rooms. Go here, go there. Go there, go there. Right? Nobody calls for you. When you say what you shouldn't say, when you're arguing with people on social media, You're typing this, you're typing that, you're typing this. Nobody calls you and says, sis, what you are doing is bad, is messing up your reputation. You are a leader in your community. You shouldn't be found doing this thing on social media. Nobody calls you. Nobody calls you because there's no consequence for those actions. You're not leading anybody. You can't lead yourself and you can't lead people. At a minimum, let's lead ourselves to do the right things. Because once you start leading yourself, God will, to whom much is given, right? Much is expected. Once you start leading yourself, you start developing your own skill, God will start raising you up. You will start putting people under you. Right? This is where leadership is. Once you lead yourself, once you check yourself, once you discipline yourself, once you start respecting your own time, energy, God, heaven will see that and say, excellence is speaking. That's when you start advancing. That's where promotion comes in. Many are called, few are chosen. Excellence is a criteria for being chosen in any profession. You don't graduate. If you fail, if you keep failing, you don't graduate. You're not chosen for graduation. So many people keep failing and they're not moving forward because they're not practicing excellence. Excellence is a requirement for promotion, guys. Whether in your job, whether in business, whether in life. And if you don't demonstrate excellence and the position requires excellence, you'll be kicked out so fast. You won't even know what happened to you. Right? But if excellence is not a requirement, you can keep doing whatever you're doing. Nobody will call you out. But the day you get a title that say you're a manager, you you better start behaving like a manager. You better start behaving like a manager. You better. That's why people quickly go and get executive coach. Come and coach me how to be an executive because this job, I've never been. Listen, because titles command a certain type of behavior, and if you don't deal with all those old behavior, they might wreck those opportunities. This thing is facts. So when they are promoting people in your office, it's because those people have done something you haven't done. Anyway, I don't want to go deeper because I'm generalizing. I like to deal and engage with people one-on-one or in my school. Once you enroll in my school, then we'll have a one-on-one. I want to get to know you. What are you working on? Right? Because I'm more of a 360 wholeness type of person. It's not just about, business. You do business the way you do life. The business cannot grow more than you. The business cannot go where you haven't gone. You are the one dragging your business. You know that. The business goes where you are going. In fact, there are some rooms you go into, the business may not even enter. There are many rooms. Listen, when I say Coach Toyin is a brand by itself. But there are many rooms. I'm not Coach Toyin. I'm not Coach Toyin. There's nobody in that room I'm coaching. There's nobody in that room. When I'm in a room with ambassadors, the government, please, I'm not Coach Toyin. Just go listen. I'm a colleague. When I'm in the room with my colleagues, I'm not coaching them. We are doing work together. We are partnering and advancing our goals. Okay, that's it. Kenny, any part? I've been going back and forth. This Coach Toyi stuff. Anyway, thank you everybody joining. The link is up above. Enroll in my school. You won't regret it. 300 resources. Really, it's an entrepreneurs academy. But trust me, we are building business professionals and those who would lead the world of business and government. I work in the intersection of business and government. Right? Listen. I was just, there's some things I was thinking about. There are rooms I enter, they give me red carpet treatment. It's only on such social media that people have nothing to, let me listen. I'm trying to be funny. Okay, I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to generalize. This is not always true, but I'm just sharing that there are rooms where excellent people will give you excellent treatment. I'm telling you. And trust me, I have people, oh my gosh. Life is, I have people who fly me private. Listen, excellent people will give you excellent treatment. And so if you're in any relationship and people are not treating you excellently, it's not you. It may be you though. It may also be them. It's a combination. But anyway, let me wrap it up. I'm trying to be funny, guys, but anyway, thank you so much for being here. Let me wrap it up with yeah, you wanted to say something? Yes, Caleb. You said something?
Yeah, thank you, Chitoy. And somehow, okay, maybe I'll send this one private, privately to you.
Somehow, now you're making me curious. Is it something somebody else can learn from?
No, not really. No.
Okay. Then you can private message. That's good. Kenny, parting words. Okay, maybe he's busy somewhere else. But so that's it, guys. Linda, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. I'm walking home right now. Thank you. Always a pleasure to listen to you as I was heading home on the train. And I got some more work to do as I go inside. But I will really take on a serious note what you said on how I approach the leaders and to try to provide more value in terms of a partnership instead of begging or asking for things from them. So I do appreciate that. Thank you. I'll be in touch with you. You'll hear from me. Thank you.
This is so big. There was a day I wrote something on social. If you're not subscribed to my newsletter, please do subscribe on LinkedIn. I have several newsletters. There's a private newsletter that is only for those who have ever attended my events before, people who have done business with before. How I communicate with people who have showed up, engaged at a deeper level, and a lot of them are governments, on and on. That newsletter is different. It's handled with white glove. But then I also have a social media newsletter. People who are out there, just like I'm engaging now. My words are different. I don't mix it all together. Social media is social media. People haven't made any investments in my program. There's a public, you still get benefits. But I reserve a lot of the intense, heavy lifting for those who invest in my platforms, my classes, my courses, my training. Because once you go through my program, it's easier for me because I know you, it's easier for me to introduce you and connect you to certain offers, right? Because when people come in, I've realized the reason I teach is because at the beginning, I thought everybody knew what I'm talking about, that everybody coming in and say, oh, let's do this, that they were coming with with the same mindset. How wrong. That was so like, wah, wah, like assume people are coming with their own mindset and you don't know what that mindset is until you start speaking, until you start engaging, because we're now trying to find alignment. I realized that, whoa, we are not aligned. I served as a strategist for Fortune 1. My level of expectation in terms of business acumen, business expectation, like basic stuff at that level, I realized that, wow, it's so far away from what people are doing. And so that's why I developed a ton of program to help people level up. So that when you're coming into rooms, we're talking about government this, when we're saying this, when we're using the business language, you are not going, oh, I don't know what they're talking about. Right. So my program bridge you to be able to participate in those rooms. Because at the beginning, I wasn't trying to teach anybody anything. I was trying to do business with people. And I realized that, wait a minute, if we don't understand the language of business, the skills of business, the systems of business, the strategies of business, how business is done, world-class level, you can't participate with God, you can't participate in those things if you don't have standards. That's why I started teaching. That's where Coach Toyin started. This is the evolution of Coach Toyin. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. God, do you mean that we have to actually train and groom people into those rooms? Yeah. Because the people running after you, you're building an army that you need to train their hands, because wealth creation is a training, right? You want to build wealth with business, you will fight. There are some fights you will fight. First of all, start that fight inside your head. There are some things, there are some thoughts fighting you. The game plan one is to address all those limited beliefs, procrastination, right? There's one module I say, adopt the mindset of a champion. To do business, you win in your mind before you win in reality. You fail when you start telling yourself, oh, I don't have this, I don't have this. You've caged yourself. You're going nowhere. Failure happens in the mind because of lack of belief. Success happens because we believe. All things are possible to them I believe. You receive everything first. before you run. You see, listen, those who go into Olympics, you've run that race 100 times and you see yourself winning and you are carrying the crown before you ever show up physically to win. Nobody wins publicly without winning privately, guys. So you fight those internal battles. All those voices telling you you are this, you are that, you are that. Start that fight there where nobody's seeing. Finish, conquer all those thoughts, all those limited beliefs, all those this, conquer it. Like, bring it under your feet, crush it. Like, lead your mind. Tell your mind, listen, this thing, we are going all in. I'm about to pull some stuff. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. Talk good, great things to yourself. That's where it starts from, where nobody is looking. Talk beautiful things to yourself. Tell yourself, listen, we are going places. Do that. When you finish talking in your heart, then you start. This is where you break ground. Break ground first within you. That's why the mindset program comes in. Because it's not, I can be telling you, marketing this. If you don't believe it, there's nothing I teach you that you can use. If you don't believe in you and your future, and that your future is greater than today, you are not going to invest in that future. Action is backed by belief. So those are some of the things happening. Action is fully backed. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So there are so many internal things. So when God gives you a business idea, if you don't wrestle with all those things, stealing your time, stealing your energy, stealing your focus, stealing this, you're managing care. If you don't deal with all those things, it's in the way. So for me, in my school, we tackled 360: mindset, skills, systems, strategies, relationships. The relationships you will build, the new relationships you have to build to now support the new life. Because if you cannot look at your cell phone and call some people to do certain things for you, then where are you going with your business? You need something for your business, and on your phone, you cannot say, hey, introduce me. And nobody in your phone can introduce you. Listen, the relationships we have has to open doors. Otherwise, you don't delete. Anybody that cannot use their office to help you grow, what are they doing in your network? Anybody that cannot sign check, that cannot write a letter, that cannot introduce me. And similarly, same, right? Same. This is where trust comes in. I'm telling you the dynamic things, right? Anybody that will not move for you and you would not move for, what does that mean? What does that mean? Guys, check again. Like, listen, the people we have, they use their office, they would, no. I have good people. You get what you're looking for, guys. You get who you are. Be good. And you will find good people. I have good people. I am deeply honored. I'm deeply honored to call some people my friend. They listen, even yesterday, people who call me to give me opportunity. Toyin, we're doing this. Are you interested? I'm recommending you. Amazing people in the world. And the same thing we introduce. This is not social media stuff. Every single day, people are doing business. Hey, you know why we introduce? Because we know their competency. We know they will not fail. We introduce the people we trust. Not just that we trust them for humanity, we trust their skills, that their skills can perform and generate results. That's why we introduce. We don't introduce people we don't trust. And we don't trust that their work ethic mirrors what our relationship with those people are. We don't. So that's why I don't introduce unless you've gone through my program, because that program allows me to know that you've been developed and groomed for such introduction. So we want to know competency, your skill, your business. Can you drive impact? Like, listen, I have people like World Bank people. referring people to me. I have government people referring people to me. Why? Capacity, competency. Through time, they've seen, they've participated in my platforms. So when I say I'm hosting a TV show, people are saying, Toyin, we are flying in. We've participated in your other platforms that yielded incredible, anything Toyin is doing, we want to be there. Because when Toyin says she's doing something, this lady has showed us. That's it. Competency builds trust. And lack of competency, actually, there's no trust there. Because if you tell me you can do this and I haven't seen you document it and show me, really? Because many people just talk, but they have nothing to show. So I'm just giving you some tips, right, that are differentiating from all these things on social media. So this is where Coach Toyin dwells in just guiding and shaping people. But once you become my client, we go deeper. There are resources. Listen, we have to transform ourselves. And once my students cross over, I mean, the things they are pursuing, the offers, we were on the session last clubhouse session, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? And one of my clients is there and she was like, oh, somebody's offering me cruise, this. I'm like, yes, that's how it is. When we level up, all the opportunities to levels up. So God bless you. The link up above is to my program and my school. Reach out if you need help. Everybody needs help. I need help myself. I reach out to the people who help me. God bless you. I'm closing now.